Alrighty then. I guess we're just gonna be waiting a few minutes here to see who else might show up here. I like party. I like party. Drinking with my. I was saying somebody else came in real quick and then left again. Hello. Hmm. I like party. I like party. Drinking with my. Let's see now. La di di da de da, la di di da de da, la di di da de da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see, I'm the only one here. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever see. One is the lonely. Oh, we got two people now. Yay, two people. Hello, how are you doing tonight? Let's see now. I just, of course, just waiting around to see who else we can get to come in here. And they went away again. I'll check something here while I'm waiting for more people to show up. Are you streaming right now? I guess not. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Still, I'm the only one here right now. Hmm. Let's see now. We're at about 4.5 minutes. I'm still waiting around to see who else shows up here. I'm doing that. Check some other stuff here while I'm waiting. Come. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Hey, Bat Goat. Let's see. Hey, Mike. I'm sorry for being rude last night. That's okay. I kind of understand the situation. I know that at least from your perspective, you felt like you were being attacked. I understand that. Um, I just my take on it was I felt that you both needed to kind of chill out a little bit because it just seemed like you guys are taking it way too personally over what was essentially a difference of opinion. Okay. That was my whole thing. But I appreciate you apologizing and I appreciate you for owning up to it. I'm sorry that anonymity reacted the way he did, and I do hope he does eventually come back. I did, as he asked, unmod. I did unmod him, but you know, I made a rude statement to begin with. That was all me, and again, I apologize. It's cool, back up. It's cool. I mean, you know, um, I understand the situation. It wasn't really a nice situation for anybody involved. Um, so yeah. But thank you for apologizing and owning up to your part of it. I do appreciate that. Anyways, aside from that, how your day go? I'm still, of course, waiting for people to show up. Obviously, You're actually the first one here tonight. So, at least talk a little bit about what's going on right now. The counter would ever wisen up and realize there's now two of us in here instead of just one. That'd be nice too. And I thank you again for, of course, the like and the share. I have a lot of stress in my life with family right now. My doctor noticed my blood pressure is up. Have legal issues with our family trust, and my boy is getting married next month. Yeah, that does sound like a lot on your plate. I guess all I can do is just wish the best for you and wish the best. Wish I can just simply wish that everything works out in the end for you. I know it's going to probably be a. I hope that you'll still be able to come tomorrow night and hang out. Hopefully you can just take a break from the stress and just enjoy comics tomorrow night. I'll be looking at the funnies, volume 2, number 15 from Dell. So my anxiety is bad. I appreciate that, Mike. Um, do you now just out of curiosity? Well, yeah, let's see. You just wrote something else here. I'll be here if that's cool. Yeah, it's cool. You know, that go. We all have our moments. So you know, for me, as I explained last night, I wasn't really mad as much as I was more disappointed in the situation. So we're cool. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, of course, I wouldn't expect you to tell me anything about like the family trust and whatever legal issues you're having right now. That's basically your business, and I'll respect that. I won't pry. Um, hopefully things are still going cool with your grandson, though. I mean, getting to hang with him sometimes probably is got to be the joy in your life, right? Being a granddad, maybe even exposing him to some of the cartoons you grew up with. Hey, Woody's here. Yeah. And as always, of course, Backgoat, I'll send you the StreamYard link during, sometime around midday. Yeah, he's good. I get to see him on Sunday. Well, then there's something to look forward to amidst all this stress and stuff. Hey, Woody. Yeah, yeah the counter's being a little slow, but we know that all too well. So, hey, Woody, how are you doing today, man? And I do appreciate what you tried to do last night and trying to ease everything up a bit, Woody. I thank you for that. I do appreciate that as well. So, just another day in paradise. Just another day for you and me in paradise, paradise, paradise. Woody did throw some comedy in there. Nicely done, sir. Yeah, I mean, he was. Yeah, I saw he was trying to help move things along and stuff like that. So that's wanted to acknowledge that. Yeah. So, anyways, let's see. We're at what? Oh, we're already at 12 minutes now. 12 and a half minutes. So, well, there's three of us in here. I guess I can at least kind of go over um what's on tap tonight. We got basically five stories for tonight. Um, four of them from CBR, and then the last one will be going back to Bounty in the Comics for. We got a couple of Netflix stories. Among the story, we got two from the comic, two from comic scene, two from anime, and one from television. We got a couple of Netflix stories, one from the anime and one from cartoons. See what you guys have said here in the last couple. Hey, we did see that. It's the usual outcome when I try to lighten things up, it blows up worse. I don't think so. I think there were May was trying to shut me up too. Well, my impression was I don't know if May was trying to shut you up per se. Back on, I think she was more shocked than anything else. She may not have heard you lose it like that, or get into it like that before. That's what my impression was, which sometimes can happen. But anyways, um, we continue on talking about like you know what's on tap for tonight. As I said, okay, so we have five. As I said, we have five stories, two comics related, two anime related, and one cartoon television related. Um, four of the five stories will come to us from CBR, while the last one will be coming from Bounding into Comics. Couple of Netflix stories in there. So basically, let's see. Among the stories include Marvel bringing back John Romita Jr. for the 40th anniversary of the Fantastic Four. The passing of comics writer, artist, and essayist Jesse Ham. Let's see. Let's see. A Taiwanese manga called Old Man. It will be getting an English adaptation. And then a couple of Netflix announcements in regards to the anime Eden, and apparently Netflix is doing their own version of Masters of the Universe. Once again, they're deciding to do something with one of the things we grew up with. One of the things I read in the headline is Tila may be getting half her head shaved off. Ah, so Nita Sarkeesian just grifted $15,000 on the makers of Fall Guys. She's a real piece of work. Oh yeah, I think I saw a headline or two on that, but I really don't know much about it other than what I've heard, little bits here and there from like you guys, and I know the Quarterings talked a lot about her. I don't really pay attention, you know, to her. At least from my perspective, she's really not worth paying attention to, quite honestly. But that's just me. I mean, even the Jerry Duncan turkey, Jerry Dugan, or whatever you want to call him, Dugan or Duggan, whatever his name is. Um, and Flash did a video on him today, by the way. Remember the guy that? Well, oh wait, that's right. I think you guys kind of came in a little late. Um, but the first story I covered last night was the one about Jerry Duggan coming out and saying how he wanted to give readers what they didn't know they needed. Which, of course, I responded. I responded to that by saying that has got to be one of the most arrogant and asinine. In fact, I'll even take it one step further. It's egregiously one of the most arrogant and asinine statements I've ever heard. But, anyways, let's see now. All right, let's see. I bet she could grift the chrome off a trailer hitch. Oh boy. Yeah, she's a dummy. How about that, Woody? Yeah. So, anyways, so I think I just went through all of the somebody else is here. Hey, listening. All right. So, anyways, I guess maybe what I'll do now. Wish this counter would be more accurate. But, anyways, guess it would be a good time to get into the stories now. I've already gone through them. Oh wow, we're already up to 18 minutes. Just shooting the breeze. We took me a while because, of course, I was waiting for at least some of you guys to come in. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started on these stories then, as we're now getting close. Let's see, we're at 19 minutes now. So let's go ahead and get started on these stories. Gotta close one thing out that I was looking up while I was waiting. All right. So, anyways. All righty then. So here we go. Marvel welcomes John Romita Jr. back to Fantastic Four anniversary issue. John Romita Jr. makes his grand return to Marvel with Fantastic Four number 35, a supersized issue that celebrates the first family's 60th anniversary. So that's 60th anniversary. So that means they debuted in Marvel Comics in 1961. I'm guessing. So, which which I would say is a pretty fast turnover from comic book to cartoon, because their cartoon team, I think their first cartoon, I think, came out in 1967, I believe. Um, Hanna-Barbera one, I believe. Anyways, the Fantastic Four will celebrate their 60th anniversary with a supersized issue featuring John Romita Jr.'s official return to Marvel Comics. Fantastic Four number 35 will see Romita illustrating a story by current Fantastic Four writer. So I guess he's an artist. Current Fantastic Four writer Dan Slott. Boo! Boo! We don't like the Trump haters. Boo! Anyways, okay. Okay, so let's see. Which sees the Fantastic Four attack Fantastic Four under attack by multiple versions of Kang the Conqueror. Mark Waid and Paul Renaud will also provide a backup story that takes another look at the Four's origin. Finally, Jason Liu, the pitiful human lizard, will write and illustrate a story in his Marvel Comics debut. $60, Fantastic Four. I've read and been told by much smarter people that luck is the residue of design. So I won't even attempt to claim I designed the events of these last few months. But I will take this kind of luck any day, anytime, Romita Jr. said in a statement. I was lucky to begin my career with Marvel, and now and extremely lucky to reconnect with Marvel. That's an enormous amount of good fortune. I sincerely thank all of the folks up at Marvel and Disney who worked for this fortunate reconnection to happen. He continued, to add to all this, I hate to add a third section to my good fortune. Is the opportunity to start off with a huge project, which is the 60th anniversary of the Fantastic Four. It is an honor and extreme privilege to be asked to work on this along with a friend and former collaborator, Dan Slott. Along with ink artist J.P. Meyer, I am looking forward to this being up for viewing in August. Romita Jr.'s return to Marvel was first announced in March, along with the announcement that he would be working on a secret project. Romita has illustrated multiple Marvel characters and is well known for his tenure on Amazing Spider-Man with J. Michael Straczynski. Written by Dan Slott, Mark Waid, and Jason Liu, and illustrated by John Romita Jr., Paul Renaud, and Liu. Fantastic Four number 35 goes on sale August 25th from Marvel, which most likely will mean it's probably a September or October cover date. And no new comments as of yet, I guess. All right. So, anyways, so with that, that's the first article. I guess John Romita Jr. is an artist illustrator. Guessing. So, yeah. As I've always said, of course, these CBR articles go pretty fast. Oh, and just as another little note here, let's see who wrote this. Give credit where it's due. So it was published. Oh, now it goes to the full day. It was when I first looked it up. It was still within the day, but a day ago by Collier Jennings. So, anyways, moving on to the next article now. Let's send it. Here we go. Here's the next article. Yeah. Hmm. Well, I'm hoping that everybody's still here. Uh, you guys are still along for the ride there, as the viewer count only says two of us in here. Ah, yeah. All right. So, anyways, we are here. Some more than others. All right. So let's move on to this next article, which would appear to be a bit of a more of a sadder one. Comics writer, artist, and essayist Jesse Ham has died. Article published 20 hours ago by Brian Cronin. Jesse Ham, comic book writer and artist known for his excellent tips for comic book creators online and his essays about comics, has passed away. Oh, did he? Look like one of the characters here looks like the Phantom from King Feature Syndicate. Jesse Ham, acclaimed comic book writer and artist whose Tips from Jesse Ham Twitter account helped thousands of burgeoning comic book creators, passed away on Wednesday. His wife, Anna Shirlingham, broke the tragic news on her Twitter account that Ham had passed away due to a blood clot in his lung. Oh, man. That is kind of a harsh way to go. You're breathing, all of a sudden develop a blood clot in your lung. That sucks. Ah, looks like we have. Looks like we have. Um. Let's see. More than others. NASCAR. Hello, NASCAR. Even I'm here. Yeehaw. Hey, NASCAR Jeremy. I think I've seen you here before. You visited us before. I hope you're enjoying the content. Uh, guys. Hopefully, you guys can help NASCAR Jeremy feel welcome. Even NASCAR Jeremy is here. So, always, guys. Of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That helps with the algorithm. So, well, a NASCAR sighting. Hoot dang. ah, welcome NASCAR Jeremy. I'm glad you're here. Hopefully, hopefully you're enjoying the content. So, anyways, as we um, let's see, he's my cousin. He's my cousin. Parentheses alt account. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, uh, let's see. Yeah. Ham was a member of the Portland-based Helioscope Studio. Ham had worked as a professional artist for years, but his first major mainstream comic book was the 2007 graphic novel Good as Lily, which he drew with writer Derek Kirk Kim for DC's short. Wow, I wonder. I kind of wonder how old he actually is because let's see, DC's short-lived, um, very much ahead of its time. Minx line of books. He worked for Marvel Comics on an issue of Hawkeye with his Helioscope studio mate Steve Lieber during the acclaimed Matt Fraction, Dave Aja, and Matt Hollingworth run on that series. He worked for DC on an issue of Batman 66 with another Helioscope studio mate, Jeff Parker. Sounds like the guy was actually pretty young. Check something here. Oh. The article itself hasn't said thus far back, but I'm gonna look something up real quick. See if maybe I can find that out. Let's see now. So let's see. Well, it doesn't say much there. I'm gonna check one more. Let's see. See if I can find something. Yeah, just saw that. I'm actually reading that article right now here. All right. Well, maybe it will. Maybe we will find it in the article. Then the article hasn't said at least as of yet how old he was, um, but yeah, I was thinking, based on how they were talking, it sounds like he might be actually pretty young. If he worked on something in '68, he was way older than. Well, no, I Batman 66 is actually a more of a recent comic book back out. That series was published by DC, I think, within the last few years. It was actually based on the 1966 live action Batman series. Um, I predict 70. Well, we'll find out. Because they said he didn't in the article there. It said that he didn't. His first work with the comics may have been on a graphic novel in 2007. Even though. Okay, so anyway, so let's continue on with the article here. Maybe we'll find something as we. So Parker and Ham then did a brilliant crossover series for Dynamite Entertainment, Flash Gordon, King's Cross, bringing together a number of King Comic Syndicate characters together in a very fun adventure. Okay. Dynamite Entertainment, again, I think is more of a recent company, so he may be younger than we think, but Ham also co-wrote with Mark Rogers and drew the series The Blessed Machine for Mad Cave. Most recently, um, he was working as the artist on. So he was working. So most recently, which means pretty. He was working as the artist on Dark Horse Comics Plants vs Zombies series with another Helioscope studio mate, writer Paul Tobin. The Plants and Zombies, Volume 18, Constructionary Tale, due out in July. So that sounds like he's got something coming out now or pretty soon here. So, oh, I see. Never mind. Now I gotta know how old he was. Oh, I do too. I'm kind of wondering too because I have a feeling he's younger than you know and is being indicated. Might think here. Now the counter's saying three. Yeah, so it looks like we got some more people coming in. Oh, poo, and it went back down to two again. Anyway, so um, while Ham was an excellent comic book artist, he was perhaps even better when it came to writing about comics. He jokingly described Tip from Ham as Jesse Ham will not let his lack of fame or achievement stop him from tweeting advice to all and sundry. Okay. But his work on Tips from Ham was an impressive achievement in and of itself. He had a brilliant way of teaching people with just a few words on Twitter, and his advice was excellent. He would also sell collections of his tips on Gumroad, and he would have other pieces of comic book creating advice on his Patreon. Hmm. That could be him right there. See that picture, guys? That could be him right there. Years ago, when Good as Lily had just been released, the above photo of Jesse from Comic Vine was from that period. Okay. Um, Jesse wrote an outstanding guest column for Comics Should Be Good here at CBR about 8 things he'd like to see more in comics. You can read that here, and reading that will give you a small sense of how much of a loss his passing is for the world of comic. So, so it doesn't say how old he actually was here, unfortunately. And I think there might be one or two other um, sources I could try to see if I could find that information. Yes. Well, that's all they got on him here. So the Good as Lily title that they talked about was from 2007. So I told you Batman 66 was more recent, like 2015. That was a comic book, as I said, based on the 1966 television series. So anyways, let's see now. Yeah, I would agree with you there. Um, looks young, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, he does look kind of young there. Well, try one or two more. Oh, yeah, okay. Actually, nothing really here either from IMDb. Probably wasn't widely known. It's probably why there's not a whole lot of information on it, I guess. All right, so there wasn't a whole lot, but according to what I'm looking up here, they're saying it was probably somewhere between 35 and 40. I don't really think there's any like biographical information out there on him. Yeah, he looked pretty young though. But sometimes that does happen, unfortunately. But that's also part of life. So, anyways, guess it'd be a good time to start moving on to. Let's see, where are we at time wise? We're at the 43 and a half minute mark. So let's move on to the next story. That is, here we go. Here's the next story I'm going to cover. Chang Cheng's Old Man manga receives English adaptation. This is, of course, an article by Alden Sharp, published a day ago. Taiwanese author Chang Shen's dark fantasy manga, Old Man, is being translated into English with a release date set for this fall. Distributor Igo Manga has acquired the English adaptation rights to Old Man. Old Man, an award winning and internationally acclaimed series created by Taiwanese author and illustrated Chang Cheng, of the thriller manga Nine Lives Man, will be published as a multi volume graphic novel manga series in English. The original series was published by the Taiwan-based uh, Togli Publishing. A new listing from Barnes and Noble indicates that it is currently available for pre-order. The English version of Old Man, Part 1, runs 176 pages and will retail for $10.95. It is expected to be available from retailers on November 8th, 2021. Is there anything more here? Doesn't look like it. The beautiful artwork and elegant story making of Chang Cheng's Old Man propelled it into award-winning national fame. Reads the Barnes and Noble description. Now, this iconic comic is ready for the global audience it deserves. Old Man has been well received since its release, winning multiple awards, including the International Manga Award in Japan, as well as Golden Comic Award for Best Shonen Manga. The dark fairy tale story concerns a beautiful queen who rules her country as a despot, with total control. Unmarried and without an heir, she repeatedly adopts orphans as a way to prove that even commoners can reign as kings. Still, something sinister lurks beneath the surface, with the queen showing no signs of aging, while her orphans continue to go missing. The individual aware sole individual aware of her secret is a court magician known only as Old Man, who was arrested and thrown in the dungeon prior to the start of the series. Staging his escape, Old Man appears to step through the bars of his cell and vanish as if by magic. Cleverly misleading the guards, he rescues a neighboring prisoner, an outlaw sword maiden, who has had her arms and legs amputated. Um, Upon taking her to a brilliant doctor who fits her with mechanical limbs, Old Man and the Sword Maiden um, vow to take revenge on the queen that wronged them, all the while evading the queen's army as the dictator launches a desperate campaign to keep her secret hidden. I would believe there might be some magic involved in those disappearing orphans. Shang, who lives out of Taipei, cites early encounters with comic books as formative. He studied drawing and oil painting at the Fuxin Trade and Art School and speaks of being deeply influenced by the works of Yukinobu Hoshino of the 2001 Knights manga series, and more recent Professor Munakata's British Museum adventure. Shang's art style has received attention for its high level of detail and commitment to realism, which has been described as video game like. Oh, some impressive stuff there. Anyways, just chilling. Anyways, All right, then. So as we move on to the next article, I'll do these kind of fast. So here's the first of two Netflix stories that we'll do. Hmm. Wow, we're not even at a we're just coming up on 51 minutes. I'm like three of the five stories already done. Um, Netflix's Eden drops a trailer for the robot anime's premiere date. The article by Lydia Levecki published 13 hours ago. Netflix's Eden drops a Japanese and English dubbed version of its new trailer for the upcoming robot anime series debuting at the end of May. Netflix's Eden, an upcoming robot anime series, drops its first trailer. Ahead of its May 27th premiere, Netflix released a full length Eden trailer on YouTube in English and Japanese. Eden's trailer introduces audiences to the futuristic city of Eden, a robot led world solely inhabited entirely by AI. It's artificial intelligence for those not in the know. Um, and the show's protagonist, Sarah, a human who mysteriously awakens from stasis and whose existence ends up questioning the entire nature of Eden. Man, it sounds like it's got. It kind of reminds me of an anime I've seen before. I think called Kurogane. Not be confused with Peacemaker Kurogane, where you had a human girl wake up basically to a world of robots. The four-part anime series will be directed by Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood director Yasuhiro Irie and is the first Japanese anime that's completely owned by Netflix. Eden's English voice cast includes Ruby Rose Turner as protagonist Sarah. Ruby Rose, I wonder, oh boy, could that be the girl that Yellow Flash was talking about? The one who was playing Batwoman? Netflix is going all in with the anime. Just hope they don't um wokey ruin everything. Mm. I think a lot of streaming services are seeming to go that direction. I guess only time will tell on that one, though. That go. Let's see. David Tennant and Mandalorian star Rosario Dawson as Sarah's guardian robots E92 and A37. J.B. Carliak, Boss Baby, as S566 or Uncle Joe. Cassandra Lee Morris, pretty well known voice actress based here in Southern California. Persona 5 Toradora as Zurich. And Julie Nathanson, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, Far Cry. I know the only role I know of Julie Nathanson from is a supporting role from Zeta Project. I think she might do more video games, I think, or independent project as the AI Genevieve. Um, How I Met Your Mother alum Neil Patrick Harris will also star as the AI Zero. It looks like they're trying to get some big names in there. The Japanese voice cast will star Mariko Kono in Another World with My Smartphone, Kaguya Sama Love is War as Sarah. Kono will be joined by Kentaro Ito from Bleach, Naruto, and Kyoko Hikami, Princess Nine and Monster, at E92 and A37. Tarusuke Shingaki from My Hero Academia and Novelise as S566. Yuki Kuwahara from R. Fureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid as Zurich. Yuko Kaida, so right with the red hair. Ikotozen as Geneve. And Koichi Yamadera, Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball Z as Zero. Let's see, where are we at now? Let's see. Maybe chilling. Let's see. All right. Doogie frickin' Hauser. Yeah, that's who it is. Back goat Doogie. Guy most you'll probably remember as Doogie Howser. Um, my little runaway. Run, 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 run away. Hey, man. Netflix recently revealed several other core members of Eden's creative team. Justin Leach will produce the series alongside anime studios Cubic Pictures and CGCG. Kimiki Ueno, Carolyn Tuesday, Raul Tudor will produce the screenplay. Toshihiro Kawamoto, Wolf's Rain, Cowboy Bebop, and Christoph Ferrara, Buta and Napping Princess, will co-create the character and concept designs, with newcomer Clover G serving as the background art director. Australian-based composer Kevin Penkin, who has composed soundtracks for anime like Tower of God, the ongoing Rising of the Shield Hero, and the recently announced second season of Made in Abyss, will score the series. There we go. Uh, so now we will, let's see. Wow, we're not even quite an hour yet. uh, okay, so this is probably one of the bigger news items that came out. And our good buddy John F. Trent wrote this article. Netflix reveals first look at Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe revelation. Keela gets half-shaved head look. Oh, boy. Okay. John F. Trent, this article was published today, of course, from the looks of it. Let me guess, Becca. That's something that you're puking for, because I take it you're not happy with what they're going to do with it. Is that a pretty good guess? Woody, you're still here, right? It's only showing two people watching, so Kevin Smith sucks. Go cry some more on camera, you pussy SJW. Okay. Uh, yeah. So, anyways, well, I mean that is the article there, though. That goes. So, still here. Hadn't heard from you in a while, so I was just making sure. Yeah, not happy with my childhood getting uh graped. Okay, yeah. I would probably have to agree with you. I'm not really overly fond of a lot of these newer adaptations either. All right, well, let's get to the article here. Netflix revealed a first look at their upcoming Masters of the Universe Revelation series that shows Tila with a half shaved head look. Masters of the Universe Revelation LTR Battlecat and Chris Wood as He Man in episode 101 of Masters of the Universe Revelation. CR courtesy of Netflix 2021. If you're unfamiliar with with this upcoming series, Netflix explains that it picks up where the iconic characters left off decades ago. They add, after a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor, Eternia is fractured and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. And after decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Tila to reunite the broken band of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power, and a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. There's Tila right there. At least there it would appear she doesn't seem look all that bad. The show is executive produced and showrun by Kevin Smith, who told fans that narratively, our show is set up as the next episode in the legacy '80s animated series aired from 1983 to '85. This is a continuation of that story. Hmm. He continued, "We're playing with original mythology and characters and revisiting and digging deeper into some of the unresolved storylines." Could this mean that they're looking to eventually have Tila take her spot as the new sorceress? Is that what he's talking about? I honestly won't watch it. I've got clownfish to tell me how bad it is. Laugh out loud. Of course, it's up to Tila get cancer. Kevin Smith. Uh, yeah, I don't really know if I mean, I really don't like how a lot of these modern people are like just taking on some of these classic stuff that we grew up on. I'll be quite honest with that. It was I was He Man and She Ra were another pair of favorites of mine from that period, and they were both pretty good. Um, particularly when you saw how He Man and She Ra would interact with each other. I don't know if Now, I don't know if Kevin Smith is one of those individuals who will try to put his politics into his storytelling. If that's the case, then yeah, I really not going to be happy with that. Smith would also detail visually, we also made the conscious decision to lean into the Masters of the Universe line of toys for inspiration as well. Mattel owns this entire vast library of that artwork. So right away, we wanted the show to open with classic pieces of artwork. Mattel has been committed to this look since they first started as a toy line in the 80s. And now we're leaning into it, honoring it, he concluded. Masters of the Universe, Revelation left to right, Chris Wood as Prince Adam. I guess Chris Wood is providing the voice of Adam, I would take it. In episode 101, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Executive producer Rob David, who is also the vice president of content creative at Mattel Television, echoed Smith's comments, saying, Masters of the Universe Revelation is the first piece of episodic content from the franchise to be produced in nearly 20 years to celebrate the fans who have wanted so long for its return. It was important for to us to honor the original storyline. Yeah, I mean, and I think we've seen what they did with. I mean, I know there's a lot of critique over the She-Ra series that was out a year or so ago. That didn't go over too well with. I may have said this before, but I used to watch He-Man after high school every day when I got home. Good time. Yeah, well, I did too. Now granted, I was still a kid. He really is an evil TDS lefty. The world is a worse place with him around. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Fans who followed the adventures of He-Man and his friends in the 80s will feel like they are picking up the story where the characters left. I I doubt it. I seriously doubt that. Yeah, the horrible thing is if they are trying. the Here's the horrible thing. The horrible thing about this, if they are going to try to emulate what they did in the 80s, could you imagine Orko or Lookie coming out spewing SJW ideals? Could you imagine that for a moment? Orko or Lookie trying to come out and basically tell everybody how racist they are and all the how you're ist and faux if you don't follow. Can you just imagine that? If that's where they're going with this new series, that would just suck. David even goes into detail about the first episode, saying, "In our first episode, a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor leaves Eternia fractured, and the Guardians of Grayskull scattered throughout the land. Now it's up to Tila to reunite the broken band of heroes and ultimately prevent the end of the universe." I guess that. Let's see. Masters of the Universe, Revelation, left to right. Alan Oppenheimer as Mossman in episode 101 of Masters of the Universe, Revelation, CR, courtesy of Nip. Oh, wow. That's interesting. They're bringing back one of the original voice actors from the 80s TV series. Of course, in a different role here. This role he's doing Mossman. If you guys don't remember who Alan Oppenheimer was, he was the guy who voiced he voiced Man at Arms, he voiced Cringer and Battle Cat. Let's see, he voiced Merman. Um, he voiced a few of the. Of course, they had an ensemble cast. They had John Irvin, Alan Oppenheimer, the late Linda Gary, who provided the voice of Tila and Evil Lynn, as well as the sorceress, and then the Shimers, Lou and Erica Shimer. So, hmm. That's interesting. I guess they are trying to really recapture what was going on in the 80s there. Oh, Toys is here. Oh, I didn't see Toys. Hey, Toys. Hey, man. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hello, Batgoat. Hello, Mike. Sorry I'm late. My aunt came over. She's kind of old, so her coming over was kind of a big deal. She didn't even come to visit me. She came because my wife was selling Tupperware. Hey, Woody. Hey, Toys. Lavala. Yay, Tupperware. Yeah, well, I'm sorry you got in late because you just about missed just about all the stories. You already were on the last story here. Laugh out loud, Batgoat. Hey, Batgoat, I hope your stress and family stuff gets better. Thanks, bro. As always, guys, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. See if we can get some more people in here. But yeah. We're up to 4 people viewing now, so that's good. Let me get. Hey, Mike, I'm doing well. That's good to see. Hey, Toys, I'm Woody. Tupperware is great stuff. It's women's crack, I tell you. Now, according to the StreamYard channel, we have 5 people in here, so that's good to see. Hopefully, everybody who's in here is enjoying the content. Um, Again, we're pretty much almost done with the stories, though. The Tupperware party in the jungle in Airplane is classic. Mike has 8 likes and 1 dislike. I see 7, so maybe another one's come up recently. Let's see. Well, my YouTube screen says 7 likes, 3 people watching. So, but anyways, let's continue on with this story. I was pointing out here, Alan Oppenheimer was part of the original voice cast in the 80s series. They brought him back, this time playing Mossman. Hmm. While he notes the story is a continuation, he also claims the series has matured with the fans of the original series and that it is specifically for an adult audience. He explains, and just as the fans of the original have matured, so too has the world of Eternia. Masters of the Universe, Revelation, features deeper themes, characterizations, and harrowing battles than ever before, designed for the adult audience. Masters of the Universe, Revelation, LTR, Mark Hamill as Skeleton. Oh, here we go again. Mark Hamill once again getting cast as a megalomaniacal psychotic villain. And Chris Wood as He-Man in episode 101 of Masters of the Universe, Revelation CR, courtesy of Netflix 2021. In fact, David states fans will watch their favorite characters evolve over the course of the series. He continues, Prince Adam, He-Man, Teela, Evelyn, and even Orko will all be very different at the end than they are at the beginning as they battle it out for the fate of Eternia. Alliances will shift, destinies will be met, secrets will be revealed. The Sword of Power, very interesting look there. As for the themes the show will explore, David writes Masters of the Universe Revelation explores many of the themes from the 80s which are still relevant today, including the meaning behind He Man's famous call, I have the power! You wouldn't know it to look at Prince Adam, but there's something inside him, something truly strong and special that, when unleashed, has the power to transform not just him, but the entire universe, he continued. Yeah, my wife's working on getting a Tupperware car. Oh, wait, oh, yeah, we saw that. Uh, this 2 point seals Emrite container keeps the buttons fresh for weeks. Um, it helps stretch your dollar in the up and coming monsoon season. Like a Mary Kay car, laugh out loud, or mat of Tupperware. That would rock. Just blinged out with Tupperware logo and stuff. Totally rad. Uh, all right. Well, anyways, back to the article here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah. David added, and the real magic of Masters of the Universe is that this is true for each and every character in it, as well as for each and every one of us watching it. When we recognize the best version of ourselves, we all have the power. There's a source. Masters of the Universe, Revelation, L to left to right. Susan Eisenberg as sorceress. Susan Eisenberg was the actress who voiced Wonder Woman in the Justice League cartoons of the 2000s, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. That was who Susan Eisenberg is. And Chris Wood is He-Man in episode 101 of Masters of the Universe Revelation. The show features the voice talents of Mark Hamill, who voices Skeletor. Once again, Mark Hamill getting cast as a megalomaniacal psychotic villain. He is joined by Lena Headey, who voices Evelyn. Chris Wood voices both Prince Adam and He-Man, as John Irvin did back in the 80s. Sarah Michelle Gellar of the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer voices Teela. Liam Cunningham takes on the role of Man at Arms. Stephen Root plays Cringer. Diedrich Bader as King Randor and Trapjaw. Diedrich Bader, who I think a few years ago, I think might have been in I think it might have been in Batman Brave and the Bold, was voiced Batman. Griffin Newman voices Orko. Tiffany Smith plays Andra, and Henry Rollins Tricops. Like a Henry Rollins, the kind of like real intense punk rocker, I believe, or hard rocker. Alan Oppenheimer, and this is what I was pointing out. Alan Oppenheimer, who originally voiced Skeletor, okay, is playing Mossman. You know, in the original series, he voiced Skeletor, Merman, Man at Arms, Cringer, Battle Cat, number of them. Susan Eisenberg is playing Sorceress. I just went over her. What Alicia Silverstone from the Clueless franchise is playing Queen Marlena. Justin Long is voicing Roboto. Jason Mewes uh, plays Stinko. Phil Lamar brings to life Hero. Phil Lamar, who's a well-known voice actor for the last 20 years or so, and roles include Samurai Jack, Green Lantern John Stewart in the DCAU, throughout the most notably Justice League and Justice League universe, as well as his appearances on Static Shock. Um, let's see, Tony Todd is Scareglow. Uh, let's see, Cree Summer is Priestess. Cree Summer, of course, known for her voice work. Previously voiced, she voiced Maxine in Batman Beyond. We've talked about recently how she was the voice of number 5 on Codename Kids Next Door. Kevin Michael Richardson is Beastman. Provided the voice of Mammoth in the Teen Titans cartoon. He was Robert Hawkins in Static Shock. And Kevin Conroy is Merman. Kevin Conroy, of course, better known to most fans of the DCAU as Batman, Bruce Wayne. Masters of the Universe Revelation left to right, Mark Hamill as Skeletor. Hmm. There were a few things here that said since I last checked. Let's see. We saw that. Saw that. That. Saw that. Totally rad. Yeah, her friend has one hole now. She's going Tuppo crazy. Where's Leto? I don't know. Leto hasn't shown up yet. Nor has May May actually. Tup crazy. Actually, good talent for Tila. He was one of the friends on the Drew Carey show. I don't know which debater. He was also the neighbor in Office Space. Cree, number 4. 5, my bad. Yeah, 4 was Wally, the little blonde haired tough kid. I believe. Smith lauded the voice cast, saying, "A big reason we got such top tier voice talent is because people genuinely want to be a part of this world. So many of us were touched by these stories and these characters early in our lives, and we're so happy to come back to Eternia." And while Smith and David note the show picks up from the 80s series. Smith also states, but even if you've never watched a single episode of the show and don't know this universe at all, you can jump right into the story. He explains it's a really classic universal action adventure epic about growth, discovery, magic, and power. The series explores destiny in a fresh way. There's a lot of reconciling with secrets, betrayal, trust, acceptance, love, and ultimately loss, he concludes. Masters of the Universe. Griffin Newman as Orko. Tiffany Smith as Andra. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila. Tila in the. That's not a half-shaved head, though. Maybe that's more later in the series, I guess. Justin Long as Roboto. And Lena Headey as Evelyn in episode 103, Masters of. So are they trying to indicate here that there's a possibility that Evelyn may actually betray Skeletor and go over to the hero side? That seems like an interesting twist. Is that a spoiler that maybe you didn't want to do yet, guys? I explained Kevin Smith is an irrelevant wimp. Okay. There are rumors that the show will sideline He-Man in favor of Teela. However, Smith addressed those back in May 2020. He wrote at the time, with all due respect to Screen Rant, I've read every Masters of the Universe Revelation script for our shows, plus wrote a few, and viewed 4 amazing animatics while Teela is as present as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe Adventures, and she plays a big role. Our series is literally all about He-Man. Hmm. They could be exploring maybe some of the He-Man, He-Man's connections to like Castle Grayskull and King Grayskull of ancient times. Smith also addressed rumors from Clownfish TV in March 2020 that claimed Teela is better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. In response to this rumor, Smith stated, as showrunner, I really could have used those story suggestions before we locked the scripts. Oh boy. However, no He-Man does no stepping no however, no. He-Man does no stepping aside and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe. Well, apparently, I guess Kevin Smith is saying that he's not going to push SJW agenda here. If that is the case, it might actually be worth watching. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. He all caps literally. Dude, you're my age. Knock it off, you stomach stapled fool. Well, I mean, I've at times capped all letters if I'm not trying to make a point. I'm 45. He's your. I mean, come on. Can't be too critical of that. Smith added in a subsequent tweet. Also, Clownfish TV, instead of posting your faux insider info, Here's a real story. Mattel made a behind the scenes video featuring our actors recording. So a fan took some of Mark and Lena's dialogue and spliced them into old filmation clips. Look. Masters of the Universe Revelation will be 5 episodes in total. For part one, it will air on Netflix starting Friday, July 23rd. All right, so there we go. There we go. Let's see. Press X to doubt. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's possible. I guess only time will tell. I guess we'll see when it comes out. See if he does as he says here, or if he does push an SJW agenda. I guess time will tell on that one. So, anyways, so that's all the main stories we have tonight. So what time is it here? Well, actually, so I guess we were able to run the time right because we're at the hour 31 mark, going on an hour 32. So not too bad. I thank you guys for coming in tonight. I know a few of you were late. Um, with all that being said, oh, so Nick, for those of you who are interested, Nick is streaming tonight. Apparently there's some accusations against a Chauvin witness. Biden threatens you, Josh Hawley too powerful, racism, and more. So, anyways, all right, guys. So I guess it'd be a good time to start winding down a bit here. I know last few nights we've gone a little past 2 hours, so I'll believe it when I see it. I guess. Yeah. I Hey, That's all you can do, right? All right, guys. So I figure it's a good time to wrap up. It's probably a good time to wrap up early. Back up tomorrow. I'll send you the Streamyard link and prep, and hopefully you'll be able to come in early to prep for tomorrow night's retrospect. Tomorrow, of course, we'll be looking, as I said, we'll be looking at the comics that went on sale from Dell Comics in October of 37. We'll be looking specifically at The Funnies, Volume 2, Number 15. Following up on stories include Squibbly, Alley Oop, Ben Webster's Page, Bronk Peeler, maybe a little Mutt and Jeff, as time permits, of course. Mutt and Jeff, Sister's Cat, Daisy Bell, um, and the like. So, but yeah. We get grumpy when we're up past our nap time. Yeah, all right, guys. So are you guys ready for this day in each history? Man found out his wife was cheating, so he made sure to never let her leave with a cream pie. He found out who her AP was after his friend was complaining about his new girlfriend tasting funny. Okay? It's always my nap time. Yes, I'm ready. All right. So, anyways, guys, we're gonna start wrapping up here. So, without no further, we got 5 people viewing. Good, that's good. So, without any further ado, let's take a look back on this day in niche history. History. Yay, niche time. All right. For all we know, maybe Leto may have overslept it. Maybe why he hasn't shown up. So, anyway, so without any further ado, today being Thursday, May 13th, 2021, let's take a look back at this day in each history. And the first thing we're going to look at here, we're going to go back 25 years ago today, as on this date in 1996, from the Nashville Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, WCW held its Monday Nitro event. On the card for the WCW World Heavyweight title, the Giant would face off against Lex Luger, ending in a double countout. As the Giant at the time, of course, was managed by Jimmy Hart. Among the other matches included Ric Flair defeating VK Wall Street. For those of you who don't know, VK Wall Street is um, most of you would know him from his time in the WWF as Erwin R. Shyster, IRS, as you know. So that's Mike Rotunda. Chris Benoit would defeat Squire Dave Taylor, and the Steiner brothers would defeat the Public Enemy. And then there were some dark matches, as it were. So that's all that happened on. That was from wrestling. So getting ready to move on to the next piece of niche history here. As we go ahead 10 years from there, 15 years ago, on this date in 2006, this date in 2006, Shaolin Showdown and Justice League Unlimited finished their respective runs on their channels. Shaolin Showdown finished its original run on Kids WB, and Justice League Unlimited finished its run on Cartoon Network. So on this date, 15 years ago today, Shaolin Showdown and Justice League Unlimited both completed their initial runs. And finally, and finally, before it was like, I used to watch Hi Hi Puffy Yummy Yummy. Yeah. And finally, on this date in 2009, um, the complete Dick Tracy Volume 7 hardcover um, comic uh, went on sale from IDW on this date back in 2009, which was, of course, 12 years ago today. So, Volume 7, the hardcover Volume 7 of the complete Dick Tracy, published by IDW, went on sale on this date. It was 288 pages, and it would cost you almost $40 to get. Let's see. This collection was comprised of the 1941 and 1942 dailies and Sundays. So the complete Dick Tracy Volume 7 hardcover went on sale on this date 12 years ago from IDW Publishing. So with that, get in the last few comments here. Let's see. All right, we did see that. Ha ha ha! I remember Rotunda as IRS. Good times. Yeah, knowing that you were a big WCW back in the early '90s, you might remember him as Captain Mike as well. If you and the earlier days of his Wall Street character as Michael Wall Street and all that, and the York Foundation. 12 years ago. Well, the VK Wall Street one was from 25 years ago today. But, anyways, guys, I thank you guys again for being here. Back up. As I said, I'll probably send you the StreamYard link tomorrow around midday. Hopefully, you'll be able to join me. I'll be glad to have you. We'll take a look back at, I'll continue our look through October 1937 in the realm of comics, looking into Dell Comics, specifically the Funnies, Volume 2, Number 15. So until then, guys, bye.